Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Malaika K. Falla of Malaika International, seeking to make all lives actualize and inspire through kind actions. I am passionate about inspiring change through interconnectedness and taking compassionate actions towards our fellow human beings. Today, I want to say thank you again for tuning in to yet another video of mine. And as I um, move away from the topic of self-empowerment, beginning to tap into the topic of self-reliance. Again, as I'm passionate about inspiring change through interconnectedness and taking compassionate actions towards our fellow human beings, my primary purpose is to improve our personal empowerment, self-reliance, self-development, and spiritual growth. Our world today, of course, is a place where we seek and desire to become better and share a oneness in each of our uniqueness through a sense of awareness and mindfulness. Within each of us, we have a purpose that we are capable of becoming a part of this beautiful world where we can become meaningful to ourselves. Starts with their self-empowerment and that of the world. So how is it? How is it that you, in your way, in your own way, can become infected to this world, knowing it exactly at a point in your life where you have finally found a purpose of yourself through all of pattern to places that are unknown to yourself. If that's possible, each of us finds some sort of awakening. This is not about, it's not a mystery. It's mysterious, but this is not a mystery. Each of us can find some sort of awakening, and each of us are capable of changing this world. We're capable of changing this world if we seek to understand the person we are, rely on the person we are. By doing so, we are able to connect with people that are within our surroundings. We're able to become kind because kindness is an act of kindness. Once more, universally is interpret itself lack of that capacity to whatever physical communication that might be, because it's in a language that is spoken to many, that is understood not just by one but the entire world. So as we move ourselves to a place of where the human spirits become contagious and we think we will change the world. We can change the world. We will change the world. I have a t-shirt on that I bought today that said we will change the world. Yes, we can change the world. Through what? Kind actions, simply that are unquestionable and that's understood by all of us. Because that laughter, laughter is the sound of music to the heart that has no way of interpreting itself through any languages. I speak couple a few languages, so what am I saying? I don't need to interpret. I'm happy. You see that. There's no way one can interpret laughter. There's no way one needs to interpret kindness, because it's an openness that exists that has no interpretation with any aspect of anyone's interpretation through any means of a language to the world. It is universal. It is universal. It is oneness. And in understanding that oneness with the world, that allows your human spirit to see others as you want to see yourself, because you become absorbed. You are absorbed into that impossible of the possible, that perception of what? The human minds. And you are seeking to enlarge your effort to the greater good of what? Society, humanity. Honestly, you create a relationship that personally with yourself and is personal with others. Your human spirit is so compelling, is so willing to connect with the world and other human beings. It's no denier. You can see it. You can see it. It's like you smell. I said this before. You smell a smoke. You do not project what is not within you. What is within you is what you project. One of my spiritual American mentor, Dr. Wade Dyer, peace be to his ashes. He said, what is within you is what you gave up. You cannot squeeze an orange and expect apple juice. When you squeeze an orange, you expect orange juice. God, that is so compelling. That is so powerful. That is so powerful to the human spirit, that you cannot give me what you do not have, even if you find an excuse to the person you are. So we're moving from self-empowerment to self-reliance. So how in the world are you a contributor to mankind? How in the world, when you have self-empowered yourself, now you become a self-reliance person, that you are able to transform, and serve your fellow human beings? How? Think about that. I want you to truly think about that. Have an openness to your human spirit, because your human spirit has the ability to propel your needs, to connect, not to your egos, not to your egos, but to the world. To the world where you find yourself as an influence, as a person who influences change, as a person who affects interactions and that fall into the face of change, as a person who is collaborating, as a person who is partnering, as a person who builds relationship. We are tapping into the phase of self-reliance and establishing the groundwork, and then we take it from there. And what do? You become an impactful person. Your approaches to the world is recognized by people. It's significant. It's a contribution. You are interpreting their life experiences as where you're interpreting yours. Your act in the world is not an act of autopilot. It's an act of being the now. It's not an act of, okay, well, I have to be there. No, no, no. You are purposeful with an intention, with a focus. You put an action to it. You seek result to it. Ladies and gentlemen, self-reliance. If you have nothing, you have nothing. The only thing you have in this world is yourself. It's yourself. Self-reliance. When you have fully empowered yourself, there's nothing you have but you. It's like you push against a cliff. And all you have to do in a place is push back. You have no choice but to push back. You have you. You want to share a light of building a relationship with people that is truly intertwined with who you are, basically. There is in this space, honestly, in this space, there is no right or wrong. And the reason why there's no right or wrong, because then it becomes an individual differences. And that individual differences will define exactly who we are. So before I move any further into self-reliance, as I spoke about self-development, I want you, ladies and gentlemen, to take what works for you and what doesn't. And sometimes by just hearing certain things, it opens up your mind to something that makes sense to you. Because the topic of interconnectedness, self-empowerment or personal empowerment, self-reliance, self-development, and spiritual growth. This is a topic that constitutes with no one size fit all. This is an individual need and individual reaction to what is and what becomes. So take what truly works for you and let go of what doesn't, because at the end of the day, you have no one to impress. No one to impress but yourself. If you truly believe that there are people in this world that you have to impress, you have truly come to a conclusion of making a mistake to find the actual person you are, because no one cares about what is it you are. People care about what is it that you can contribute to make their lives better and make the lives of others better. So with that in mind, I do want you to take from this conversation, as we move into the phase of self-reliance, is understanding that you have to simply rely on yourself. And relying on yourself is not a gesture of, okay, this is where I am, and this is how it's going to be. No, rely on yourself requires a lot more than just words, because you simply have to share light onto that person, that you are that person that you're simply relying on. And if you are relying simply on that person, trust me, you have no one else to do that for you. So let's take this and end this video here and say that self-reliance share the light on our inner self through resourcefulness and trusting our human spirit. Our innermost demeanor understands specific that are associated with our human drives and an inclusiveness of our humankind, which then enables and embraces a new orientation of hope of our uniqueness and openness through our acceptance of the universe. Again, I say this, the different colors of the world makes it irresistible to miss anything. So as I end this video, this is just a tapping into a